the midst of a relentless downpour, I found myself navigating a winding, desolate road. I was a hopeless romantic on a journey to meet a woman I'd only known for a short time online. The anticipation of the encounter was electric, but the storm outside cast a shadow on my excitement. As I drove through this terrible storm, my headlights briefly illuminated a board littered with rusty nails, strewn carelessly across the rain-slicked road. I couldn't fathom why such a hazard was in the middle of nowhere. But before I could react, a sickening thud reverberated through the car. My heart sank as I realized I had punctured a tire. Desperate to salvage the night, I reached for my phone, intending to call for assistance. But the barren countryside offered no signal, leaving me stranded in the cold, rain-soaked car. With no other option, I decided to abandon the vehicle and began a disheartened trek through the relentless rain, seeking shelter from the storm. As if by a cruel twist of fate, I stumbled upon an eerie old farmhouse shrouded in shadows. The place looked as if it had been abandoned for years. Drenched and shivering, I approached the front door and knocked, my hope pinned on finding someone inside who could help. No response came, but I noticed the door was ajar. I hesitated briefly, then decided to take refuge from the storm within those decaying walls. Once inside, the air was damp and thick, heavy with an unsettling sense of history. I cautiously explored, my footsteps echoing through the dimly lit, dilapidated hallways. As I ventured further, a chilling sound echoed from the basement below, a low, guttural grunt that sent shivers down my spine. Intrigued and unnerved in equal measure, I descended the creaking stairs into the darkness below. The sight that met my eyes was nothing short of horrifying. Hooks and chains adorned the grimy walls, and the floor was stained with old, dried blood, telling a gruesome tale of agony and suffering. Panic welled up within me as I heard another sound, this time a sinister whisper that seemed to slither through the shadows. My heart pounding, I sought refuge in a small room at the far end of the basement. It was there that the true horror revealed itself. In the dim light, I noticed a framed photograph propped against the wall, and it was the image of the woman I had set out to meet. My heart pounded furiously as I connected the dots. This was no mere coincidence. The board with the nails had been deliberately placed to puncture my tire. My hands trembled as I reached for the doorknob, intent on making a desperate escape. But before I could turn it, the door burst open. In the dim light, I glimpsed a grotesque figure, its features twisted with malevolence. My terror intensified as the truth became painfully clear. I had unwittingly walked into a nightmarish trap, a trap set by a deranged predator. Before I could react, it was too late. My hopeless, romantic journey had turned into a gruesome nightmare, and the darkness of that night would never release its grip on me.